Hello, my stamping friends, and welcome to the catalog launch of 2025 and 2026 annual catalog, as well as online exclusives. Um, Plus, we have some new kits this month of May also. I'm going to be bringing you several videos during this launch. And today I'm going to be bringing you an online exclusive called Sweet Jar. It is adorable and it has a punch. And if you follow me, you know that I cannot resist punches. So if a stamp set has a punch, I'm probably going to buy it, right? Hey, I'm Terri Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Southeast Iowa. And during my launch, I have invited, or actually, I have teamed up with two of my demonstrator friends, Sarah from Handmade After Dark and Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. And they are going to also have some videos that I'm going to share during my launch. And they'll be sharing my videos during their launch. Sarah Boland lives in Australia, and Connie Douglas lives in Canada. And of course, I live here in the United States. All right. Well, I'm going to turn the camera down and I'm going to share Sweet Jar bundle with you. Okay, we're going to be using the Sweet Jar. It's really adorable. Has a punch that you can purchase as a bundle. Happy birthday. Has some candles. A little treat for you. Miss you bunches. And then sending a little blank your way is one stamp. You stamp that, and then you can add in between here sweetness, love, luck, or party. So send in a little party your way, send a little luck your way. Have some shamrocks, and one here, or 4-leaf clovers, whatever. You have hearts, and you have some more, two other stamps of hearts. And then these, I believe, are supposed to be jelly beans, but, you know, you could also, I think, make them look like cookies. So cookies in a jar, so that would work too. And then in our annual catalog on page 125, I will be using the embellishments out of our new catalog, and that is the 25 to 27 in color flat pearls right here on page 125 in our annual catalog. But the others, it will be using online exclusive, and this is found in our online store. All right, let me show you how I made the template. So I took the punch, and this is a template to be able to stamp the jar and the lid. I took the punch, and I just put some cardstock in here, and I punched it out, just like this. And so then what I did, I took the stamp and the lid, and I placed it inside this template, and then I took my block. So I placed the stamps in there. Then I took my block and picked up the lid and the jar. And so now I know when I stamp, I can easily be able to punch that out. All right, let's go ahead and make our card. I have a couple extra cards to show you. And I'm going to start off with just a regular basic white thick card base, which is a regular 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4, and I'm going to lay that aside. And then we're going to use one of the new in colors, and this is Strawberry Slush, and this is cut at, so I'm going to pull this back just a little bit. There we go. So then this is, we're not ready for that marker, but that marker is ready for us, wasn't it? This is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and then I have taken a piece of basic white cut at 5 by 3 3/4, and I have embossed that, and that is embossed with a plaster painting. embossing folder, and it is an online exclusive. So it's a 3D and it's a large embossing folder. But before I adhere these together, I want to bring in a piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to go ahead and add that right in the middle. The designer series paper comes from Floral Impressions, which is also an online exclusive. And this is the paper, and I'm using the back side. So the front has a lot of floral, but the back, you know, so I'm using the back side of that piece right there. And this goes with another stamp bundle, but you can mix and match, right? You can mix and match. So let me grab my adhesive. It's almost a shame to put adhesive on this beautiful side of the designer series paper, isn't it? This designer series paper is cut at 2 by 5, and I have brought in my silicone mat because that way, if I have cut this designer series paper too long, I don't want any glue on my crafting surface. So I'm trying to eye it to make sure that it has the same amount of space on each side and that it is straight. Okay, and then I can layer these two together. And we're going to add this to that Strawberry Slush, which is one of our new in colors. I understand it is a returning color. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to bring in our card base and go ahead and add this to our card base, and then we'll do the fun part. We'll do some stamping and decorate. Sometimes I like to open the card up because I have a flat surface, so it makes it a little bit easier to lay down. Okay. All right. Well, that looks pretty right like that, doesn't it? All right. Let's go ahead and do some stamping. We're going to bring in, this is Stylish Shapes. This is the largest circle from Stylish Shapes. And we're going to be using let's see, we're going to be using one color today because I'm going to be kind of doing tone on tone. So we're just going to be using Strawberry Slush. And I'm going to bring in a scrap. As you can see, I've already done some stamping of jars earlier, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and start with the jar because then I can use it for placement. So then I kind of know where I want to do my stamping on the Stylish circle. So let me go ahead and clean this off camera. And then I am going to go ahead and bring in the hearts. And I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. This is the larger one of the hearts. And I'm going, now you could certainly punch this out and then then you could stamp the hearts. You could also stamp off if you wanted the hearts to be just a little bit lighter. I'm going to bring in our punch, and we're going to go ahead and get that lined up. And now I can kind of use this for placement because I'm going to be adding, I think on this, we're going to maybe leave the, you could put the lid on the jar, but I think we're going to have some hearts floating out from the jar. So that's kind of what we're going to do. So I'm going to bring in this stamp that has the 3 little hearts. We're going to go ahead and ink that up. So I'm going to move that out of the way, and we're just going to stamp right there and right here. So we have those little hearts that are kind of floating out, and if we wanted to, we could even add a few more right there. All right, And then we have another stamp that has 2 hearts. And then I'm just going to kind of put them down here. And I think I'll just do one like that. All right, and now we're going to stamp our sentiment. So again, I have our jars going. I don't know, I might tilt it, might not, but we have our jar, and then we have room here to go ahead and do our stamping. And we're going to bring in Sending a Little Your Way. And so see, it says Sending a Little and then Your Way. Now I have tried stamping the word that goes in the middle first and then try to place this over it, but I have found it's easier to do this first. So ink up Sending a Little Your Way. Let's try that again. And I think we will put that just about right here. Sending a Little Your Way. And then I'm going to bring in, we're going to put Sending a Little Love Your Way. So we will ink that up, and then we will stamp that right in the middle. Just like that. It could have been just a little bit lower, but it works. So, Sending a Little Love Your Way. You can see that. All right, so let's go ahead. Before we do that, let me bring in our ribbon. And we're going to bring in our marker, Strawberry Slush marker. And you can also do this with blends. That's another thing that you can do. And I'm going to be using, I think it's 1/8 of our white ribbon. And this is online exclusive. It's really pretty. And then I'm actually going to lay it this way. And as you can see, I have a little bit of another color, so I'll just cut that off. And I want to show you then, I'm using this tip here, and the brush tip, I guess you would call it. And then I'm just going to add color to the front of my ribbon. Then I'm going to turn it over on the back, and I want to add color there. Now I already have this done, but I just wanted to show you how to do that. And then you want to let it dry for a little bit. So that's why I wanted to show you that now. And we're going to bring our card base, our card back in. And we are going to go ahead and then pop this up using dimensionals. So let's pop up our stylish circle. I think that'll work. Take the backings off. So do any of you have a favorite stamp set, either online or in the catalog? It's just so many. It's hard to choose, isn't it? All right, so we're going to place this about right here, and I can tilt it like the hearts are falling out. So since this is the circle, the stylish circle is already raised, then I'm going to put a dimensional right here in the corner. And then I will add adhesive. So we'll put it, because it's going to, the reason it's going to be off over here. And if I added more dimensionals, it would be too high since we already have the circle popped up. But this is going to be not on the circle. It's going to be over here. So, okay, let's just tilt that a little bit. Bring that in like that. And then we're going to add our lid. And I'm going to, now you can use glue dots, but I want to pop this up. So I'm going to put one right, kind of right in the middle there. And you can cut these in half, but if you look and turn it, I think you can get it on here where it almost or doesn't show. We like the doesn't show rather than the almost, don't we? And then we'll take the backs off these 3. And maybe just one in the middle, you could make it work, but it does kind of move a little bit if you do that, I have found. So we are going to just put that lid right like that. All right, and let's go ahead and bring in our ribbon. And then I have already, as I said, I've already colored it with the markers. And then just kind of looking for placement. So I think I'm going to add it down below, and then we'll do a little trimming. So I'm going to bring in my glue dots. I just have this ribbon around there to kind of keep it in a roll. And then I'm just going to bring my ribbon right to the glue dot. And we're going to place it right at the bottom of the stylish circle. So it's not on the stylish circle, it's right below. And then I'm going to bring in my take your pick tool, and I'm going to pick up another glue dot because I want to make sure this is secured well, especially if I decide I want to mail this card. You don't want the bow to come off, right? There we go. And then we're going to have to snip these a little bit shorter. There we go. All right, and now we have these beautiful, beautiful in color flat pearls, they're called. I have a package that I have already started using. So I usually cut the sides, but I guess I didn't on this one. So we will I think I even have it in a different package. All right, so let's look at these. So you have all the colors: Secret Sea and Cloud Cover, Timid Tiger, Darling Duckling, and Strawberry Slush. So small, medium, and large of all of these, all the different ones. I think I'm going to use my putty end to pick up. So when you do that, you just kind of touch it down and just slide it. It comes right off. And just slide it. And we'll put one right here. And then I'll get another one. And I could put it down here, or I could put it right there. I'm going to put it right there, I think. All right, so this is our first card, Sending a Little Love Your Way. And let's stamp a little bit, something inside. Let's go ahead and stamp some hearts, right? I think we need to stamp some hearts inside. So let me bring back our Strawberry Slush ink, and we'll use this one. Has the 3. I think that would be perfect. And we'll stamp that right there on the inside, the hearts. And you could certainly stamp more too. Let me show you the other cards. I have 2 other cards, and they are in different colors. So we have 3 cards today to share. So this is the first one, Sending a Little Love Your Way. And then I used the same designer series paper from the same pack, Floral Impressions. We have one that has that gingham, and I love gingham. So this is Timid Tiger. But here, again, I did Sending a Little Love Your Way. And then inside, I put Missing You Bunches. So Sending a Little Love Your Way, Miss You Bunches, and I have a few more hearts on the inside. So just a little variation. And then our third card is not an in color. Our third card, I use Petunia Pop. And here I use the different stamp. I use the jelly beans, or again, they could be like cookies. And I have sending a little sweetness your way. And here I have used designer series paper from the Cute as a Bee, Meant to Be designer series paper, but and then I use some different embellishments too. And I put the bow on the other side, which is Petunia Pop ribbon, which I believe, I do not think this carried over, but I just wanted to give you another example of a different color. So these are all current here, and the only thing here that isn't current, I believe, is just the ribbon didn't carry over, but you could put a different ribbon there, right? All right, so which do you like? Do you like the Strawberry Slush, the Timid Tiger, or the Petunia Pop the best? And again, showing you the jelly beans or cookies and the hearts. So here we have the lid shut, and here we have the lid open. So thanks for joining me today for the catalog launch, and there'll be more to come. I'm Terri Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Take care. See you soon, and bye for now.